Hey everyone, it's Marina, the Trader Chick via Toro. And today I'm going to be talking about the most basic question I get asked whenever anybody is interested in trading. Brokers, commissions, and platforms. Where do I start? So this is a really good question because there are hundreds and hundreds of brokers out there charging different commissions. And a ton of different platforms, some that are free and some that you'll need to pay for. So this is really important to start. What we're going to do here is there are several brokers that I personally would recommend, and there are hundreds of boutique brokers, right? You just don't know their credibility. You're not, unless you really, really know the person who owns it or the company that owns it, it's better to go with the bigger names, right? So I personally am a futures day trader. That means I trade the futures market, the commodity market. I personally trade the ES mini. And futures is quite different than, let's say, stocks and bonds and options. There are a million different instruments that you can trade. However, there's not that many brokers that are really helpful or that are super credible. So let's just talk about brokerage companies. NinjaTrader, which we will go into a little bit more, is also a trading platform, but they have recently opened up a brokerage firm, and they are actually really reliable because of the amount of people that they have using their platform. And also they offer the best commissions for future traders. I'm going to go more into commissions in a little bit. Another really reliable futures broker is AMP. This was actually my original brokerage company before NinjaTrader started to have their own, because I used the NinjaTrader platform for my trading, but we'll go more into that in a little bit. So if you are trading stocks and equities of any sorts and many other things, Ameritrade is an incredibly credible company. They do also futures, but it's not their specialty. They have tons of different tools that they work with. They are really good. Their commission rates are a little bit higher than, let's say, somebody like E-Trade, which is also a very reputable company, and Scottrade. So the majority of the banks that you also probably have accounts with, they also offer brokerage companies. So the thing with them is the commissions, right? That's the big thing, is the commissions. So let's focus on the next main thing, the broker. Okay, so how do I know who to work with? First of all, decide what are you going to be trading? Are you, because if you day trade, it's not at all like long-term investing. You really should focus on a specific instrument. If you're trading stocks, obviously you should focus on the different stocks you're going to be trading. Futures, there are a ton of different instruments you could be trading. I am a very simple laser focus. I only trade the ES mini, but there are tons. Forex, there's so many that I don't want to go into it. So you should really decide that. And then you need to figure out who is the best for your day trading company as far as brokers, right? So I mentioned that there's future broker account of brokerages, then there's the equity ones, right? So now we're going to go on to the trading platforms. And this is really important because there is not a single day trader that does not work from a platform. It's kind of like a musician that does not use notes or music paper to write their music. I mean, so few that do it without music, but you need to see what you're doing, where you're working. So I use NinjaTrader. They are my chosen platform, and like I mentioned before, if you use their brokerage, and I would highly recommend so since they have the best commissions, the platform is completely free. Okay, so before they opened up their platform for free, including their brokers, I was with AMP and I had to buy the platform a license through them. Now I am much more smarter about this, and that's why I'm making this video to help you. So E-Trade and Scottrade, they don't have their own good platform. They just have charts. Okay, their charts are quite basic. I would not really recommend for a full-on hardcore day trader to do that without working on some platform. So Ameritrade has their own platform. This platform is open to anybody. It's called the Think or Swim platform. It is really good. It's not great for futures. I personally love NinjaTrader because I get to work directly from my right here. I could take trades literally right here without going to my brokerage account. And that is huge, huge for day traders because you don't want to skip a single moment of what's going on, right? You have to be here in the present. So Thinkorswim is a great, great platform for especially for equities. However, if you are not with Ameritrade, you're going to have to peek back and forth, right? So you need to find a platform that works with your company that you could also directly trade from on and off, right? So that's really something you need to keep in mind. Okay, next one. Commissions. Okay, so you don't want to be losing the farm with your commissions alone. And day traders, let's face it, we spend a lot of money on commissions. Okay, so there are several different types of commissions that work here. If you are trading equities, right, which is stocks, EFTs, those types of funds that you could trade as well as like you trade the stocks. Normally, the different companies I'm showing you here, Scottrade, E-Trade, Ameritrade, every single time you buy something, you enter a trade is between $7 to $10. And every time you exit that trade, it's between $7 and $10. For stocks, if you buy 100 stocks with one trade, you only pay that $7. But if you want to add on to the same position, that's an extra $7 to $10 each way, right? Now, if you go through your bank and if you use your brokerage company in that respect, they could charge you up to $25 per entry and per exit. So you really need to work on that. Day traders normally do not do that. Those are mainly for long-term investments because you buy it once and you hold for several months, years, whatever you choose. So futures is quite different. Futures, we call it round trip. Each one trade, the entry and the exit is called the round trip, and you only get charged that one time. So the thing with the big companies such as Ameritrade, E-Trade, Scottrade, all those, this is not their platform. They charge a lot per round trip. AMP and NinjaTrader are very close in prices. NinjaTrader is a little bit cheaper, and every penny eventually counts, right? So they are between $3.60 to $4.20. So it depends on how many trades per month you do, how much you have in the account. So you need to figure that out. So you need to really understand the futures market in that respect, right? You do not want to be paying $8 to $10 every single time you do a futures round trip. It's a big, big deal. Okay, so last thing we're going to talk about is how much money do you need to start? For futures, honestly, more than $2,000 isn't necessary. I recommend $2,000. I mean, both of those platforms that I showed you, excuse me, you can start with $500, but it's just good to have at least $2,000. And also for equities, it's a good roundabout number, right? So between $2,000 and $5,000 is usually the good starting point. So hopefully this helps. And if you want more information, you could go to thetraderchick.com and I have a lot more information there for you. So check it out. And if you have any questions, just leave a comment below.